All right. Red Sox, it's getting interesting for them.
Yep.
As I said, they're in the third and final wild card spot. 4.5 games back of the Yankees for that first place in the wild card race.
Yep.
In the mix in their division. The big question is, and there's so much time between now and then to the trade deadline, should the Red Sox buy or sell? In your opinion, what would you do if you are running the Red Sox? Would you buy or sell?
I'd hold. And I know that's a scary.
I like that answer though, because it's all about what are you selling. But
right.
Go ahead.
It's one of those things where I look at it as like the rabbit and the turtle, right? This team is building something, right? And it takes time.
Or is it chicken and egg?
Chicken and egg? No, which came first? No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying like the rabbit and the turtle. They run the race, obviously. Rabbit, he goes all fast.
Two different methods.
Turtle takes his time, ends up winning the race.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
One of the things about this team is that we know they're probably a couple of pieces away from winning the big thing, right? So instead of getting off of the young guys like Meyer, who's going to be coming up soon,
You don't trade them.
You don't trade those guys to get guys that can help you be good, a playoff contender now, right? They're a playoff contender as is. You don't want to be able to go into this situation and see this team get a guy and end up losing in the second round or something like that, right? You want them to continue to run the race. They have a lot of great young talent that we want to see, that we've been waiting on. I mean, I've been waiting on Marcelo for freaking forever, it feels like. Well, hopefully we get to see him next year and up here at Fenway. So give these guys time. Finally, we're starting to see this team be more consistent, right? That's the biggest difference between this team last year and this team that we have this year, is that last year, these guys, Casas, Duran, all of these guys, they weren't sure if they were going to start every day. That's just the honest truth. Now we're seeing that they have the opportunity to start every day, and they're being rewarded with consistent at-bats, and they're doing well with it. They're going to have times where they slump. They're going to have times where they hit really well, and we're seeing them be more consistent because they're not afraid. We've all been in that position, right, where you're on the team and you might not be the best player on the team, right? You come off the bench or whatever. You're just not the main guy, right? And
that's never happened to me in my life.
Whatever. And you have the coach that looks at you and he goes, all right, man, every time you make a mistake, you're coming out. You're getting yelled at, blah, 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 whatever, right? These guys don't have to worry about that. They just get the opportunity to go out there and play baseball. So I think it's going to be a little different where people are going to sit there at home and they're telling us like, well, last year we didn't, sell or buy, and we ended up falling off the map, in the second half of the season. I don't think that's happening with this team this year because this team has more consistency. Front office has shown that they have faith. They gave Rafaela a huge deal before the year started. Duran is an everyday guy, as Corey has said, where last year he wasn't. Casas, everyone in the entire city is bought into this dude. He had his own bobblehead this year and everything like that. So everybody, the city, front office, ownership is bought into these young guys and giving them an opportunity. So continue to trust the process, even though I know we hate that term because of Philly, but trust the process and continue to let these young guys develop, and you'll see something special in a couple of years.
I want to see them buy at the deadline, but it has to be the right moves. It's not just move young prospects to bring in blank.
Yeah.
Sell the farm because his team is special and build a winner right now.
Yeah.
I think they're far away from that, but if it's moves that make sense, not a rental relief pitcher. Give me a left-handed arm that could be in the pen or the rotation, but has team control for the next few years.
Yeah.
And you will have to get rid of prospects. But if it makes sense and it bolsters your pitching or it helps out defensively or in your lineup, and then you get leaders in the clubhouse because this team is playing great right now, I think the experience it can get of going in, getting into the playoffs, winning a series, messing around and winning a series or two, making things interesting, even if they don't win a series, that'll be so crucial in 2025, but really 2026, when everyone's seeing if they can get back to being contenders. The fact that they're dancing with the playoffs right now, they're ahead of schedule. Boston loves to see that.
Yeah.
And they're still so far from being a finished product. Where's Tristan Casas in his rehab?
Right.
Vaughn Grissom has been ripping it up with Worcester, hitting .333 with an .844 OPS. Masataka Yoshida, his last 12 games, a 733 OPS, which you need to get out of your designated hitter position.
Yep.
Kyle Teal could get called up, and that would be ahead of schedule for him. He was expected an ETA of next year.
Right.
He comes up. Then you move Connor Wong around, and he can fill some holes wherever you need it defensively. So this team is far from being done, and still Brian Bayo hasn't gotten his stuff together. But what Andrew Bailey's been able to do with Tanner Houck, with Cutter Crawford, with those types of guys, with Kenley Jansen, once Brian Bayo figures it out and can be that number 3 in a rotation, that changes the dynamic of the team. But I do see what they need. To me, it would be a left-handed pitcher.
Yeah.
Is it Tariq Skubal from the Tigers? I don't know if they trade him because that's a young, good team. I think they should extend him and keep him. It's a piece of core.
Yeah.
But also, his price would be way high, I think. The Red Sox have till July 30th to figure things out. That's a trade deadline.
Yeah.
A lot can change between now and then. And if you do something now, no, the price may get better and the value may get better the closer you wait till the deadline if suitors back out. I was going through, I see like a Reed Detmers, left-handed pitcher. He has a 6.14 ERA, but if Andrew Bailey gets his hands on him, then you can build some trust in. Can he be a 4 or 5? Can he be a guy out of the pen? Zach Eflin, now he's a righty with the 115 whip, but there would be the team control he still has, and already his main pitch is sinker, cutter, curveball. Doesn't rely on a fastball, which Andrew Bailey takes away from his pitchers. He wants you to come in with that sweeper.
Right.
All right, so that's a guy that already comes in that would fit the mold perfectly. Then I would think maybe a Ryan McMahon, third baseman for the Rockies.
Yeah.
Team control through 2027. Great defensively, great power bat. He can improve this team. But how does that change a lineup? You don't want to mess with this core too much and what's going right.
Yeah.
But I think if you add in a right, smart way, and again, for someone that would be here in 2026 and 2027 and can help out a need right now, like pitching, get some pitching depth, lineup depth, then I would be into them buying. But I would not want to see a core guy be moved as well.
Yeah, not Teal, not Meyer for sure. I wouldn't hate getting the extra bat, that's for sure. But I think you're right. You hit it on the nail on the head. Lefty starter is huge for this team because they have 5 righty starters right now that they have in their rotation. So a lefty starter would be huge.
You don't get to an effective lefty until you get to like Brendan Bernardino. And it's like going deep into the pen on that part. Yeah. Good piece, but you need that. And that's what's missing from them. Maybe there's a Garrett Crochet or Croquette from the White Sox. I think it's Crochet, left-handed pitcher. Been injured the last few years, but you just don't know if he has a mileage. But if he could come in and be effective out of the pen, then he adds to this team. Hey, make sure to check out 310 to the Left. That's hosted by TC and Alex Spear. Full Red Sox talk. You head to 310 to the Left, you get it there. But of course, here on Boston Center, the chat, we talk Sox as well, as you can see by Tay's jersey. All right, we'll wrap things up with talking about the 3 All-Stars for the Boston Red Sox. Rafael Devers, Tanner Houck, Jarren Duran. What do you think of the news when those 3 get voted into the game?
I'm excited. I think it was time, time is due. Duran was the obvious guy that I thought, like, hey, is the MLB paying attention to this young stud, the 5-tool baseball player that he is? Great defensively, great on the bases, amazing on the bases. I mean, I love to watch that dude run the bases. And then his bat has been just electric and pumping veins, just like his own veins. You know what I mean? Out there. Just yoking home runs and just, hitting a bunch of extra base hits. So he's been a great baseball player. The guy that I was also surprised with coming into this year was Houck, because after last season, after taking that line drive off his face against the Yankees, honestly, he just kind of had a little bit of down year after that, just as anybody would. If I took a ball off the face, I'd be afraid to go up there on the mound forever. So I'm just proud of him for getting up there and stepping up to the plate and doing it again. Yeah. But like you said, Andrew Bailey being here has helped him out a ton. He's got all of his pitches down to really 3. He's not even doing where he was like a 5-pitch guy last year. He's now down to 3, where he's really focusing on the 3 that are really powerful for him. So I'm excited to see him here. And then Devers, I mean, he's a steed, man. He's just going to continue to be here. He's just a workhorse. He's doing it every single year, being the Red Sox guy. You're going to get out, what you're going to get out of him is production. So I'm excited to see him here as well. Maybe a little surprised that Kenley didn't make it, but